Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, back in the studio. It's Monday. Kansas City Chiefs have their first preseason game in the rearview mirror. I thought overall they looked okay. Their penalties kind of gave me a little concern. But other than that, I thought all the hype around Cyrus Allen definitely was there. He had some pretty good stuff to show. And Johnson, running back, he also showed a lot on Saturday. What did you see?
Well, it's what exhibition games are designed to do. And check out the bottom line players, those who are going to make the team and who doesn't. It's the depth factor that's involved. Right about the penalties, that had to be a major concern. And certainly Reed and Bieniemy and the other coaching staff will get on the team about this. There were 12 penalties called in the game. One of them called back a touchdown. In fact, it would have been the Chiefs' only touchdown, and it got called back. Kansas City scored all their points on field goals from Harrison Butker, and 20-12 was the final. The Chiefs were fair. Their unit, none of the regulars played. I think Chris Jones was in for one play or something like that, and there were others who did get some time, but certainly not any of the key individuals as such. But the fact is that they're playing the Rams, who are a pretty good football team, and Kansas City had spurts where they looked like they might be a pretty good football team. But I really think, and this is just a personal opinion, I really think that the key exhibition game, if you can ever label one as a key exhibition game, will come this weekend when they go down to Tampa, Florida. It will be preseason game number 2. The one after this one, the final one, virtually nobody plays in it because you're getting ready for the regular season. But I think that this one coming up here will be a pretty good proving ground. Still, I don't think Mahomes will play, and we'll see whether or not any of the others get in. But it was. I'd give it more about a B somewhere along the line, maybe a B minus somewhere along the line, like that, if you can put a grade on it.
Thanks for not laughing at me for making the Mahomes prediction last weekend, because I was pretty serious. I thought he was going to play, and you're nope.
I don't think he'll play at all.
No, I don't think he is now. But I will say Fields didn't look bad. Garrett, I thought, he held his own as far as...
You're talking about Nussmeier?
Yeah, I thought he did pretty well.
He's a very good quarterback at LSU when he was there. Of course, he's playing within their system. But Nussmeier, it does have some abilities. He did get banged up in the game and limped for a little while, but he's a kid. He can get in there and play. He got some pretty good licks. Welcome to the NFL, son. But, yeah, Garrett Nussmeier might be pretty good. I think Justin Fields is the one who's going to see most of the action, though.
So, in addition to that, I called my dad on Saturday. We were talking about the game, and he goes, yeah, I'm going between this and golf. So, I know a lot of Chiefs fans are watching golf at the same time. Ned was one of them. What'd you think?
He is so good, and he is Scotty Scheffler, about whom we're making reference here. This guy, he is a machine. Now, watching the match yesterday, he started out at 13 under par for round 4, and on the third hole, his little sand blast hit a sprinkler head and bounced across the green and down into the water. I thought, things have begun to fall apart. This guy kept his cool, took the penalty, was able to escape with a bogey, and then turns out and birdies the next 5 holes after that. I tell you, this guy's a pro. He is really good. Scotty Scheffler, he wins the first of the FedEx playoffs, the St. Jude Memphis tournament, won at 17 under par, and was it close? Heavens no. He was 8 shots ahead of everyone else. And this is in conditions, folks, in Memphis, where it's not only 100 degrees, it's probably 100 degrees humidity. I mean, it is really uncomfortable. Still, they had big crowds, all that, and Scheffler and all the others walking through it didn't show any signs, drank a lot of water, of course. But the fact is, this guy is really good. His first prize, you have to keep in mind, the money's great. That's why they're out there. $3,600,000 is what Scheffler wins. But that's secondary. He won. It's only his second win of the year, surprisingly, and yet he is the points leader. Now, how does he do that? Just like he said in his interview, I've been consistent all year long. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win everything, but I've been there and I've accrued the points, and I'm going to be there in the next 2. This one coming up this weekend at Belle Reve up in St. Louis. And then the final one in Atlanta at Eastlake, and that's where the winner himself, walks away with $20 million.
That's all that matters. The game golf is a game of consistency, and he's absolutely right about staying consistent, and that's what matters. Now he needs to just inch a little bit further down the road, and he's one of the best at doing that in the long run.
He is not one of the best. He is
right now. Right now, for sure. Also, if you just happen to be bored with return to football and all the golf action this weekend, of course, a lot of baseball. There was also some racing in Richmond.
There was indeed, and this is kind of an interesting story, too. They turned the lights on at the Richmond International Speedway for the Cookout 400, and Joey Logano took the lead with about 25 laps remaining and held off Chase Briscoe. He gets the win. Joey Logano, the winner. The story that I love is Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson is the reigning NASCAR points champion. He finished 6th in this race. And Kyle Larson loves racing. That's what it's all about. But his big passion is dirt track racing. Now, yeah, he's on the NASCAR circuit. He's a big winner and a champion, but he loves to race the dirt tracks. Well, this was also the weekend of a huge dirt track race in Knoxville, Iowa. And it's a little bit north of Des Moines, and that's a big one with a huge payday, a couple $100,000, and all the top dirt track racers are there. Midway through the race, here is Larson driving along, and his crew gets on the radio and says, hey, in Knoxville, Iowa, they had a big rainstorm. They haven't even started the hot laps yet. Once we finish here, we can get you there to Knoxville, assuming they're going to continue instead of postponing it until Sunday. So he finishes the race. They find out in Knoxville, Iowa, they're going to try to get the race in that night, which is Saturday night. He gets to an airport, gets on the plane, flies to Knoxville, Iowa, and 4 hours after he finished 6th in Richmond, Virginia, he wins the dirt track race in Knoxville, Iowa. Absolutely phenomenal. Think about how tired the guy must have been racing like this, flying across country, and he gets there and wins. That's what it takes.
Yeah, it is, and pushing yourself, Ned. My Royals finally got over the hump, over 50 games, but before we talk about that, history was made with the St. Louis Cardinals in Chicago over the weekend.
Certainly was, and what a weekend. How about Joshua Baez? We've been following him. He was here in Springfield last year, played for the Springfield Cardinals, got called up to Memphis just about this time a year ago. And with the Memphis Redbirds, he has absolutely shelled minor league pitching. And he has over 30 home runs, I believe, in the minor leagues. Anyway, that's beside the point. They call him up, and you knew the Cardinals were going to call him up at a certain date, and they did. Takes the field at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Home run on the first pitch he sees. Holy smokes, how about this? Center field like a 450-foot shot. Second time up, home run, not on the first pitch, but on maybe the third pitch. A second home run, 2 for 2 on home runs. Steps up a third time, another home run. My God, that's the first time in Major League history, that a player in his first 3 at-bats has homered. Baez was unbelievable, and the Cardinals win the game. Okay, 3 home runs. Yesterday, the Cardinals got 4 RBIs apiece from Alec Burleson and Jordan Walker, and they take the victory from the Chicago Cubs 11-4. Now, that's the end of the series with the Cardinals and Cubs. The Cardinals win the series 7-6 this year, 7 wins, 6 losses, and it's 13 games. That's the way they have it broken down now. So they will not see the Cubs again. But it's too bad because the Cardinals were beating up on the Cubs pretty good. Today, the Cardinals have a doubleheader in Cincinnati. It's one of these day-night doubleheaders brought about by a rainout. Now, the Royals, as Mike just mentioned, oh my goodness. Noah Cameron out of St. Joseph, Missouri, who has had his up and downs this year. More ups and downs because the guy's a pretty good pitcher. He gets out. Now he's facing the Los Angeles Angels in Anaheim, and admittedly they are not a very good team. But my goodness, they're still major leaguers. And Noah Cameron gives up 1 hit. It's a 7th inning base hit to left field by Vaughn Grissom, and that, folks, was it. A 1-hitter. He went the entire distance, and the Royals win the game by a score of 3-0. Great effort by Noah Cameron. My goodness sake, what more could you want? Springfield Cardinals let one get away last night. They fell 6-5 to the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, with Northwest Arkansas scoring 4 runs in the fourth inning, and a loss for Springfield, which now heads on the road down to Texas again.
And I know that we're all curious about when the legendary Williams sisters are getting back out on the court.
The Williams sisters are scheduled to play tonight in the Cincinnati Open. This is interesting. The Cincinnati Open is the prelude to the U.S. Open, which begins in 2 weeks in New York City. Well, the Williams sisters think they can still play certainly doubles. They are the 14-time Grand Slam doubles champions, along with 3 Olympic gold medals for Serena and Venus Williams in that competition. Well, they've been off for several years now, and they decided they're going to try a comeback, both of them in their mid-40s, and their first one will be at 6 o'clock coming up tonight. Also, Mike, of course, a very sad note in the sports world over the weekend. Tommy John passed away at the age of 83. Tommy John is the recipient of one of the all-time great surgical procedures ever invented, and that's Tommy John surgery, in which the ligament was replaced in his elbow in 1974. He overcame that, and now it's called a routine operation. It wasn't back then. It was 4 hours long, but now it's down to about maybe 45 minutes or an hour, and the doctors have it perfected. But Tommy John, who was the recipient of that, after his surgery, he went on to win 164 more games. Passed away over the weekend at the age of 83, living in Florida.
What do you think he thought about his legacy being tied to the surgery he had and not to his career?
Well, he was very proud of it, number one. Very proud to have been the recipient, and very proud of his stamina, too, because he came back. He was a pretty good pitcher in his time, and then had that elbow problem. Played for a number of teams, the Yankees, the Giants. My goodness, he was all over in the big leagues. But he continued his career, and that career went from 1975 right up until 1989. A full decade after he had that operation, he's still there. And think of the legacy and all the players who had Tommy John surgery. There are thousands and thousands of them.
It reminds me of Phil Necro from the Braves, playing from like 64 to 89.
Oh yeah,
something like that. That's just, it's mind blowing. You see those 88 Topps cards of him, and he looks like he should be one of the coaches in the bullpen, but he's not. He's pitching for your team. Ned, you have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow, man.